Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I am Serge T. In this video I'll be talking about AEW Dynamite for the 25th, or I should say the 24th of April 2024. What did I think about this show? Well, let's talk about how it ended. I mean, Tony Khan getting involved now. He's going to be on air now. Was this to write him off? Does he have an injury? Really, just how awful that was executed. The finisher move that he did on him. What was that? Nicholas Jackson does a little spinny spin off the ring, does a little 450, forward flip, and doesn't even connect with the damn pile driver that Matthew Jackson delivered. It could have been either way, whoever delivered what move. I mean, I don't know what they're trying to go for. It really didn't work for me. Did it bring some heat on them? Sure. It brought heat, I'm sure, on them. And probably the right amount of heat to bring on to Jack Perry. But I'll get into that when I get to it. But let's run this down. AEW Dynamite. Now, the Elite themselves arrive, and then following them out of their car is Jack Perry, head of security, goes to confront him, and Matthew and Nicholas say, hey, it's okay, he's with us. All right, lets him go. And that's that. Now, Orange Cassidy is up next, and he's about to enter the stage, right? He's about to come out from the back area there, and it ends up, we see that he's in the process of getting a beatdown by his former best friend, Trent Beretta. Now, in the ring, he continues to beat on him after they come from a commercial break. And as he's doing that, Chuck Taylor's out there. And Chuck, it's time, says Trent. He's waiting for Chuck's decision. And Trent says he's sorry. We're thinking, oh, he's sorry for what he did to old OC there. But no, he said he's sorry for not doing this sooner. Sorry for 5 years of hugging this narcissistic prick. Now, OC was supposed to be their mascot. This is Trent talking to Chuck, and ended up making them their lackeys. And he is not Chuck's friend. He's telling Chuck that OC is not your friend. He said, Trent says that he is his friend and loves him, and wants to give the people what they want. You give the people what they want, and then the camera pans out, and then they all give each other a hug, and then it pans back in as they're all embraced and everything like that. Now, are they going to hug it out? Chuck makes a motion to, but he ends up knocking... actually, before that, he says that, Trent, I always knew you're a piece of shit. And then he ends up decking him with the mic and demands a fight in the parking lot. He says that, I don't want a regular match. You and me in the parking lot. Now, that match, by the time this video airs, it already had passed. It was on, Rampage. I don't watch Rampage. I don't watch Collision, so I won't be watching that. But there's some good matches on both shows, but that's not enough. If you shit the bed with both those shows, why would anybody want to watch it? Why would I want to watch it? You haven't done anything to let me be interested, even though you want to go and put some interesting matches on there, but who cares? Now, I am interested in this feud. It is, for some reason. And these guys are like a B-level or a lower-level type, mid-card type of a group, but it's like it's interesting, for some reason. I don't know. If you ask me why I would think that, I don't know. But anyway, up next... Mox is backstage, and they're going to collide for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. I don't know why. Does he deserve it? Hobbs, does he deserve a shot? Maybe. But I don't know what did he do? Just because Mox wants to fight him, oh, let's put the title on the line as well. You know, just because somebody wants a damn cheesecake doesn't mean that they're gonna get strawberries on it or chocolate syrup on it, right? They order the cheesecake. You're not gonna get the extra, so why is he gonna get an extra? Tacked onto the damn match with Mox, right? You know how AEW does. You want a title shot? Sure, we'll give you one. You don't have to. You don't have to earn it. Sure. But even him, Mox, he knows it's going to be hell. But he, in the end, says that he doesn't play golf. He says that he is confident to successfully defend his title tonight. Now, the world champ is in whose house? Swerve's house, as the crowd always says, right? And of course, we get an championship eliminator match. Way to be predictable, TK. I brought it up before, and I've always seen it. It always happens. It's just like, why? Right away, you're going to give a championship eliminator match that you know that person is not going to win? Why is somebody going to win, right? Now, this person that challenged him definitely would be somebody that I would see in the future as a world champion or even a challenger. And that's the ROH TV champ, Kyle Fletcher. It should be a great match. It really should be. It's going to be a banger. It's going to be something that's going to be like, damn, because Kyle Fletcher's cut from the same cloth as Will Ospreay. And you know how Will Ospreay can go. But while this match goes on, and Aubrey Edwards is acting like an annoying mime during the match, it's like you see her, and they're hitting each other with stiff shots and all that, and she's like this. I'm like going, and people have always talked about how it looks like she's playing Twister, but while she's standing up, because her hand, how her hand's like this, and she's just overdoes it. I used to like her as a referee. And then it's all of a sudden somebody I think told her backstage, you got to be more animated. Yeah, there's a way of doing it, but if you overdo it, you look like a fool. And I hate to say that about her. I don't want to, come across like I'm somebody like that. But it's just like, look at her in the match. I can't remember what part because I can't pinpoint and say, oh, on this point in the match. But just watch the match. And then there's that one time when they were really going at each other, and she's like, and then she has that. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Just react. You're doing it like you're acting that you're reacting. How about you just react? There's some referees that can do it really well, you know what I mean? Dave Hebner, Mike Chioda, some of these other, referees, that they're good at it. I don't know about her. I really don't. And while this is going on, the Elite enter TK's office. They just go in there. And they go in, Nicholas, Matthew, Kazuchika, Okada, and then you see bringing up the rear is Luke. I was about to say Luke Perry, Jack Perry, and he turns and looks at the camera and goes, as if to say, I don't know what's going to go on. Something's going to happen. He goes and then that's the last we see of them. Up until, we're going to see him come out, but it's just like. The action goes on and everything with the wrestling and all the stuff, right? So we're not going to see him for a little bit, but they're going to come back out. We'll see him. Anyway, let's continue with this match. Now, all I kept thinking is, are you shitting me? Swerve hits the stomp. Very definitive way of hitting that stomp. And Kyle Fletcher kicks out, of course, because they got to show that they're tough and that they can take even the finishing moves, like I always say, and I'll always say it in every video. I think I'll do that every time. AEW is where finishers go to die. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Oh, it's the new era of wrestling now. This is what they do. No, it isn't. It shouldn't have to be like that. Oh, these guys are made to look tough. Really? But then you're gonna make the guy that delivering the move look like shit. I'm gonna say it and I'll say it over and over again until the cows come home. I'm done. I'm so, you know, just annoyed with it. I really am. Like, you gotta make the people look good, man. Not make the person receiving the move look good. You know? A finisher move should be a finisher move, but then I hear all these other people going, "Oh, this is a different era," or "That doesn't happen anymore." Yeah, that's true. But why would it has to be like that? Right? Pile drivers, Canadian destroyers, DDTs, super kicks are just regular moves now. They're as regular as punches and kicks. What are these guys going to have to do now for finishers in the future? The next generation that comes across, are they going to have to pretty much jump off a damn scaffold that's 50 feet in the air and deliver a move? That's the way you're going to finish a match now? You know what I mean? They got to understand, man, that this is something that needs to stop. You need to get back to how it used to be when it comes to finishers. That's why it's called a finisher. I don't even think they call them finishers anymore, because how can you call it a finisher when you don't even finish nobody? It doesn't finish nothing. It doesn't. What is the thing that finishes a lot of the matches? Roll-ups. Either from behind, an Oklahoma roll, a sunset flip, and whatever kind. Crucifix, bomb, pinning combination, that's the way that they win these matches. Now that is that is the most dangerous and unbeatable finisher now. It's the roll-up. Like I'm saying, WWE or Raw, WWE or AEW or TNA or whatever, they need to get sponsors with fruit roll-ups, man, because that's the thing now. That's what they like, roll-ups. How about you do that? Now, Swerve, he's doing that to him, and he's the champ. And it's just like, shouldn't the champ's move be a definitive damn end to a match? But then he ends up connecting with it, and then he gets a victory finally. That's that. And then next week, Kenny Omega returns. Good to see. He was battling diverticulitis, and that's not anything to sneeze at. That's could be deadly, could be lethal if you don't catch it early. And he was wrestling for months with it and thinking that he just had a stomach thing or something. I don't know if that's what happened with Brock, that Brock just wrestled with it and just thought it was a damn flu or a stomach bug or whatever. Stomach flu. But he's going to come back, Omega. What's he going to have to say about, the Elite? What's he going to do to them? How is he going to confront them? Because they pretty much, they suspended him because, he didn't fulfill his duties and his, his obligations. He had diverticulitis, you dumb idiots. Really? And what happened later on with TK? Is he going to confront that? You going to confront them about that? I don't know. Now, Thunder Rosa is interviewed by Renee Paquette. And as soon as she mentions Diana Perrazzo, she mentions her name in like Candyman, she appears. Now, she didn't say her name 5 times like you do with Candyman. The Candyman appears in the mirror. But it's like she appears, she goes, why do you always have my name in your mouth, and stuff like that. And he just get into it. I guess they're moving on to them now, because later on I'll be talking about who they're now focusing, the feud for the title, for the women's title, is going to be now. Because it looks like Toni Storm has an opponent. But we'll talk about that later. And, they brawl, like I said, in the budding feud, continues. Is anybody interested? Yeah, it's something for them to do. At least you're putting another feud out there, instead of just letting these ladies sit on the sidelines. You got to make Mercedes not regret signing with AEW. Does it look like there's a lot of buzz coming around the women's division? Really, not much, but there's some, but not the kind of buzz that you're going to be, you know, the whole the dirt sheets and all that stuff, Meltzer and all them talking about it and stuff. You know, are they going to be talking about these matches? They're probably going to talk about Willow and Mercedes. You know, Thunder Rosa and Diana Perrazzo, and Tony Storm, who she's going to face. That might drum up some business. I'll talk about that later. Like I said. Now, Mina Shirakawa, when she comes out with Mariah May, and these two are carrying on, and however you feel about that type of a relationship, there's some people were talking about how they're kind of a little comfy cozy with each other. There's no problem with me. I don't mind that. You know, I don't. She's a beautiful girl, beautiful woman, Mina Shirakawa. Reminds me of, she's very charismatic and she's quite skilled in the ring. You know, she reminds me of Asuka. You know, but she's definitely her own wrestler. She has her own style. She has her own way of carrying herself, and it could be very overbearing and really annoying, but with her it works. Because that's what it is with some people. You do a character, and if it's annoying, if you don't know how to do that character right, it's going to come off as annoying, as very over the top. You're doing over emoting, and you're doing all this stuff just to try to get a reaction from the crowd. And it's just like you look at some of these wrestlers, some of these women, men, they just don't know how to do it. But Mina Shirakawa, I was okay with her. This is the first time seeing her. I mean, I did see her that week, that when she came out and, shared champagne with Mariah May, and they had a kiss. I didn't mind. It was okay. Nice to see, but, But she's facing Anna Jay, and she's 8-0 at Daly's place. But is that impressive when they don't go there often? I mean, I guess so, but whatever. So yeah, maybe it's just like Bruno Sammartino, and wasn't he undefeated or close to that in the Garden, or he had a really great record. Stuff like that. It's just like, they don't go there only for special occasions, right? Right? Yeah. When was the last time they went to Daly's place? Could have been as early as a month ago or something. I can't remember. But it's just like, yeah, and they ain't know. But what is your record overall? What is her record overall? What's the record on Dynamite? What is her record on, you know what I mean? In AEW, at Daly's place, and then yet they flaunt that, and then what happens? Mina gets a roll up, which she calls the Glamorous Collection, which is, I don't know, it's kind of a weird name. Maybe I heard it wrong, but I'm hoping I heard it wrong, because that really is a silly sounding name. Name for a thing, a move, but because I don't really get it. Glamorous Collection. It's almost like that would be something that you would do like a combo move, and then you end it with something, and then that's the Glamorous Collection, because it's a collection of moves, But that's that, and they're about to celebrate, right, with the champagne again, and then in comes what do you call it? Who that came out? Oh, Tony Storm, right? Tony Storm comes out, comes to the aid of her protege, and I don't know if Mina is a protege of hers, and Anna tries to choke her out, and then Serena Deeb comes out and takes hold of the women's championship. Oh, she lays it to her side. And what does she say? Because it was drowned out. This happened like maybe a few years ago, maybe a year ago, where they had problems. You had problems hearing the people talk on the mic, and you would hear the crowd only. It was happening like this, but then Excalibur, I guess Johnny on the spot said, "Okay, I'll take it from here because no one can hear her. I can hear her. So let me say what she said." And pretty much said that she'll be the next. It's like the same old thing. She'll be the next champion, And then all I gotta say is hope she lives up to her promise, because she said that she promises she's going to be the next women's champion. That's going to be a good match. That's going to push Toni Storm to up her game, because she's the female version of Dean Malenko, but it's like, because she takes the thing of the woman of 1,000 holds, because he was the man of 1,000 holds. So I guess that's the thing, and I'm looking forward to it. That's going to be a good match. Serena D, where's she been? I know she's probably been on ROH and maybe on Rampage, and I think it's the first time I've seen her on Dynamite, right? Maybe she's been. I think she's been on Collision, but like I said, I don't watch Collision. I don't know. I wouldn't watch it this weekend anyways because I still got to watch Raw. I mean, SmackDown, because it's the day one of their draft. So I'm looking forward to that. Seeing if anything's different and how they do it. But let's move on. Let's talk about Willow's championship celebration. And she is the best of TBS. Huh? The best of TBS? It's like, how about the best of the TBS women's division? What is she, the best of the, what do you call it, television station? Because it sounded weird when they were saying that. It sounded ridiculous. Like, she's the best of TBS. Even she said it, and I think even Stokely Hathaway said it. I'm like, well, she's not the best of TBS. TBS is the damn station. How about you say this is the best of the TBS women's division? Or best of this women's division. Say it like that. Or division that's going to come after this title. Or just say the women's division, because women's division, they both go for both titles. So it's like, why are you going to say TBS? The best of TBS. Really? That makes a lot of sense. And while she's talking, of course, the CEO, the dance, the over-emoting Mercedes Moné has to come out. Because she has to come out every time. And like, oof, I'm not thinking. This whole segment was just oof. Like, oh, my God, dude. It's like, she comes out and then she goes, say hello to your CEO. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then she claims to be the future TBS champion. You don't have to claim it, Mercedes. You're going to get it. You're going to lose your first match. And then Monet asks if Willow was the bitch that attacked her. And then Willow tells her that, pretty much tells her, in fact, and she's like, it seems like you got a chip on your shoulder. It seems like you have a problem with me. Like I'm the reason why you were injured in that match. And it's like, yes, they have a built-in feud. But is anybody interested in this match? When you know what the outcome is, what the final 1, 2, 3, who's going to be the champion after that third 3 count, that when the 3 count, is done, is over. It's like the referee hits the damn mat, 1, 2, 3, right? Who's going to be the champion? It's going to be Mercedes. If they're bold enough, and if they'll be like, okay, we're going to do a swerve, and it's like, probably she won't win the title. It'll probably be a double, like a fuck finish. Somebody's gonna come in and mess the matchup, and then that will make Mercedes look strong and Willow look strong, and then they're probably gonna move it to something else. But why are you gonna do that when Mercedes hasn't even wrestled up to that? So you're gonna do that, and then what? Another month of not wrestling, and then she's gonna wrestle in the next pay-per-view? That's the problem. Already they messed up their booking. They're gonna not have her wrestle till Double or Nothing. It's like, why would you do that? Seriously, why would you do that when everybody is, chomping at the bit? They want to, they want to, what do you call it? They want to attack her. They want to say all this kind of crap to her, and they want to they're just anxious, like, oh yeah, we're gonna, and then why would you want to leave her open to that by not having her wrestle? She needs to build up wins. She needs to prove that she is worthy of that title shot. She didn't wrestle, so it's like, oh, she just came in. Yeah, yes, I want a title shot. Whoever wins at Dynasty between Julia Hart and Willow, I got next. There's too many I got next. There's another one too during this show. Talk about that later. It's like, is it like part of that generation? The generation recently that has come into age, and they're all like part of that participation trophy generation where it's like they're enabled. They don't need to earn anything. It's given to them. even the losers in these like sports that with teenagers, kids, and all that stuff, it's like the losers get trophies too. I didn't have that. If I lost, my team lost, better luck next year. That's what I would be told. And I'm like going, okay, and you try harder. It's like, that's the problem. That's the problem. That's why that's the mentality of AEW. You know, TK doesn't believe in these guys earning the thing. They do with some, but it's just like majority of the time, I got next. Does WWE do that? I can't recall. If they do, it's very fleeting. It's not continuous. It's not every time. You know? But that segment, it really did not. It fell flat for me. And again, with Mercedes coming out again and doing her stick, just like the New Day. She's like the New Day for AEW with me, because I'm just fed up with the whole coming out and acting the way she does, and it's just like that type of voice she has and the way she talks. It's just like, you know, I just had a yellow streak. I said it's not a yellow streak, but I had a streak up, you know, that chill you get up your back. It's like this, just like, man, I don't know. I love her. I think she's great. Of course she is. But AEW, they got the ball in their hand, they're running towards the end zone, and it's starting to fumble out of their hand. They gotta, you know what I mean? They better get that ball and tuck it in and start, tuck it in tight. And then when someone's coming at you, you better start knocking them defenders out of the way as you're heading towards the end zone. You know? What's the payoff? Is she gonna be just another woman in AEW that just gets saddled with nonsense? She deserves better. All the women in this division deserve better. They're all good. You know? Some are like, but it's like, they got a great division. And where's Britt Baker? They just released like another action figure for her or another thing, and a lot of people are complaining, oh, it's looks the same as the other ones. And what I'm saying is like, where's the one with her at a dentist desk or a dentist chair? Because I think that's what she's been doing more so than wrestling. She hasn't been wrestling. I don't know. Maybe she's been wrestling on ROH. I don't know, because I don't watch ROH. I don't watch Rampage. But they would announce it. Of course they would. She's one of their major stars, but if not the biggest star. Is she going to come back when Mercedes wins the title? Then there's your feud, your next one. Who knows? Yeah, I don't know. Now, Alex Marvez. He's backstage and he asked Jack Perry, if he's reinstated. He just passed him on the shoulder. He asked Okada, does the same thing. He asked Nicholas, then he asked Matthew. And then he says, Matthew Jackson says that TK will meet Jack Perry in the ring. And which turns out to be like the final segment, not the main event, because there's a main event match, Mox and Hobbs, and then you have that segment. Now, next match I was thinking that it's like a gauntlet match, but what it was is, it's to crown a new challenger for the International Championship at Double or Nothing. And you had two guys start out, Jay White, Dante Martin, and then people just keep coming out. It's not like you pin the guy and someone comes out. It's like after a certain time, people just start coming out. And I guess whoever, you just do it. It's almost like you're just throwing people out. Okay, you're going out at 2 minutes, and then if someone gets a pinfall, then we stop sending people out. So like I said, Jay White starts against Dante Martin. Then Penta comes out. Kyle O'Reilly enters. But didn't he just challenge Roddy and lose his title opportunity? And then Will Ospreay enters the fray. Lance Archer, and who cares? Big man. All fierce and scary, but he always loses. Then Commander comes in and does his top rope walk, and we do get tired of seeing that, but then he did a pretty impressive move. He did a Hurricane Rana on Archer, and Archer just landed on the tables. He got enough of it, That could have been disastrous the way he landed, but at least he was able to hit that. But still, I mean, plus Commander's is like 3 times smaller than what do you call it? So there's no way they could really get him there. But it was up to Archer to kind of make himself kind of flip forward more so that he could put more momentum behind it. This was outside the ring too, so it was pretty impressive. And then Jay Lethal arrives. Okay. And then Ospreay, in the end, he connects with the Hidden Blade. And you on Commander, and is now the #1 contender. He gets the victory. And who is surprised? You put all these people in there, except for Jay White. But everybody else is pretty much a scrub, a jobber, mid-carder, someone who's probably just warming up the seat, warming up the bench. So it would have been Jay White or Will Ospreay. But Will Ospreay winning, that's going to be a good match with him and Roddy, but who's excited for that? When you have a predictable match, that when you got 2 top guys and one of them is going to win, and who's the one that has the hot hand right now is Ospreay. I mean, Jay White and his boys there, the Guns, they unified. I guess that's what I heard. They unified the Trios Championship and the ROH 6-man tag, which is a good thing. Who cares about that other 6-man tag? It's the AEW. They need to turn ROH into just a developmental thing. Stop focusing on it like it means something. It doesn't. Unfortunately, the great history that ROH has, but ROH got bought out, and it's not even treated well. Right. The only reason why Tony Khan I think got it is because he wanted the library. He wanted the thing. That's what WWE would have did if they would have got ROH. They would have just wanted the library because they have some people in their company that are ROH people. But then the Undisputed Kingdom did come out, and then Ospreay and Roddy had a face-off. Intense. People were loving it in the crowd there in Daly's place. They were up for it. They were hyped for it. I am too. There's no what do you call it? No story behind it. There's no reason why they're together. I'm not sure. I don't know if I remember. There was like something in the past. That's why they're revisiting this. That's what they do sometimes. It's like they have 2 people kind of face off, or there's something there in the past, right? And they have a match, let's say. And it was such a great match, and people go in the back, in AEW, the management, whatever, go, you know what? Let's revisit these guys later when there's like a title there. And then this is what they're doing here. So I don't know if they have a history. They'll bring it out. Excalibur and his, bringing history into the damn even though we don't know who the person is sometimes when it comes to the people from Japan, and he says this statistic and this statistic, and then we're supposed to like go, oh, that's why we're supposed to care about him. But we'll see. It's going to be a great match, but that's the problem with AEW. Great matches, no story. There's story in some, like what I'm saying is like most of the time, why would you care? Seriously. Yes, I do come off negative. Some of you people who might watch this video. But I'm seriously, like, I'm myself. I'm honest. I'm amongst these, content creators in the IWC that are brutally honest. And there's not a lot of them. A lot of them want to sugarcoat stuff. And just like I am in my life, and I am in my job as a supervisor, I don't sugarcoat nothing with anybody, even my coworkers. I don't do it. If you're doing something wrong, I'm going to let your ass know. Same thing with here on this show of mine, video of mine. I don't like saying, "Oh, this is my show." Who am I? I'm not a celebrity. I don't even say podcast. If I get big enough, I might start calling it a podcast. But it's like here, I don't sugarcoat shit. I'll be positive when it's time to be positive. But AEW, majority of the time, I'd say maybe about 80% is totally negative. The stuff that I see. The lack of storyline, the lack of creative, the lack of sense none of this stuff makes no sense at all. Some of it does. If you ask me what's the positive things, or T, what is a positive thing that you can take from this, from AEW? What do they do right? You know, I agree with that. They take care of the legends, with Sting, with Christian Cage, Edge. You know, I agree with that. If I think of something else, I'll bring it up before this video ends. But it's like, not a lot. I'm hanging in there just because I want to see where Mercedes goes, and if she gets dropped like a damn fumble, 1 yard from the damn thing, from the damn end zone, and then the other team scoops it up. That what's gonna happen? We'll see. Now, the FTW champion, the new champion, comes out. Like we care. And it isn't a recognized title like I keep saying. And then we see him come out as the learning tree, Chris Jericho. How hokey and corny is that? And he's saying that it's not, doesn't mean, fuck the world. Like that's what it means. The Taz says whatever when it comes to FTW. But he's saying that it's for the world title. And he's being all hokey and corny with his smile, and he's trying to be that kind of heel that tries to be on your side, and he's trying to be a good guy, but then he's trying to get under your skin as well, and all this shit. And I can't stand when people do that shit. And he looks like a fool out there doing this, trying to play this role. Yeah, it's a way for him to reinvent himself, I guess. But there are genuine people out there who genuine chance of saying retire, to Jericho. And I tend to agree, because it's like, if this is where he's going, he just needs to just hang it up, go backstage, and start working with the young guys, start working with TK, and I'm sure he's doing it. He's behind creative, I'm sure. But it's just like, man, you need to go back there, Jericho, and you need to talk to TK and tell him straight up that this is what we got to do. I'm not telling you what to do, boss, but it's like, can you kind of take this suggestion? It's all about making sure that your company survives. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't survive. The way it's going, you'll lose all these big fans, and maybe lose sponsors and all that stuff. It's just like, WWE ain't going nowhere. You're not going to be the number one show, the number one company. Be thankful that you're number two. And that's what you are right now. But that number two is represented by a number two. You know what I mean? You either go to the bathroom, it's either number one or number two. Do they want to be a number two company that is thriving and is on the heels of WWE and is bringing the people in, presenting great content, a great product? Or are you going to be a number two that lays in the damn toilet? I mean, you don't want the ladder of number two. You want to be number two. If you can't be number one, you'll never be number one. WWE has that locked. If you can do it, that's great. But you have to change things, man. Am I an expert? Do I run a company? Do I not? No, but I do have common sense, and I do know what the fuck needs to be done, just by seeing it. I've been a wrestling fan for a long ass time, and it's like I know and see what I see, and I've seen the changes, and I've seen how it's grown, and I've seen how it's evolved, and stuff. And people learn to evolve and get better, and some are just devolving. They're going backwards. But that was that, and then Big Bill comes out, and he asked to be taught under the learning tree. Is he? I mean, Ricky Starks, I think he's injured. So Big Bill is going to be saddled with Jericho. I don't know what the hell's going on with these just random pairings. And they might be good for each other. Maybe Hook's going to face Big Bill. There'll be a little bit of feud so that he can try to get back at the FTW title. But I say retire the damn title. Don't saddle Hook with that damn title. Give Hook a good shot at the damn titles like international title and TNT title. Eventually get that another shot at the world title. You know what I mean? Now, Mox versus Hobbs for the IWGP World title. This match was not worthy of the main event. I like both. But these guys really weren't really a good match. Did they put on a good match? They put on a decent one. They put their shit in there. They laid it all out there. They did what they needed to do to move the match along. But they weren't a good match in my opinion. You know? Hobbs has improved leaps and bounds, man, from when he was in the beginning. I remember when he was just a guy that they just Will Hobbs, or I forgot I don't even think that was his name in the beginning, but it's like he was just another big guy that got buried. Like he was a jobber and shit like that. I'm like going, this guy is more than this. I don't know what they're not doing. And then they put him with Taz and Team Taz, and then they had that whole thing where he's in Oakland and he's talking about the Book of Hobbs and this is his neighborhood, this is where he grew up and stuff. You know, because I believe Palo Alto, where he's billed from, is close to Oakland. Because I live in that area. You know, I live about an hour away. But you know, they tried, and you know, you can't knock them for trying to put out a good match. But in the end, Hobbs is put to sleep with the Bulldog, chokehold. This was, like I said, a snoozer of a match, you know. I mean, Hobbs, his hand was like this, and I think I saw him go like this a little bit, and I go, did he tap or did he just pass out? Didn't even look like he passed out, but that was the match. And I'm surprised that I wasn't put to sleep. You know, I'm sorry to Hobbs and I'm sorry to Mox. I love you. Those two are guys that I admire. I think they're great. They're talented. Mox speaks for himself. I've been a fan of his since the Shield in WWE. And I liked his singles run, even the silly shit that he had to do. You know, that Vince McMahon put him through. That's why it's great that he's Mox now. He can just be balls out just himself and be that extreme sick guy that we know in his mind, and he likes to bleed and all that stuff. Which I'm glad that they're not making him bleed every week now. Once in a while, that's fine. You know, it's like a concern that I have, and I'm sure Renee has that too. But all us fans have that. It's like you're bleeding and doing all that stuff, and these people can get sick from the ring. You know, get staph infections and all that shit, and he's just bleeding all over the place. And I'm like, there's like a lot of these wrestlers, old time wrestlers now that they got diseases or they're like sick because of the bleeding that they did in the ring. These guys don't know that, or they're just saying, "I'm young now, I'm gonna deal with that later." No, you don't want to deal with that later. You don't want to be, dealing with crap like that later on, man. If you can take care of that shit now, you take care of it, and you don't do it. Be careful. You know what I'm saying? But this, the match ends, and then, of course, like it always is, Takeshita comes out, and emotions like this, around his waist, that he got next. And, of course, don't earn it. You just do that, right? Is that how it is there, TK? You get a shot, sure. I want next. Okay. Write that down. Takeshita wants a title shot. Okay, there you go. Doesn't have to have a championship eliminator match, a fatal 4-way, 3-way, 5-way, anyway match, battle royal, right? No gauntlet match. I want next. Maybe this is a way for them to compensate him for the fact that he beat Omega 2 times in a row, and they never did anything with that. I think he beat Jericho. I mean, he beat somebody big, but he had 2 victories over Omega. They call him the Alpha, right? He's ridiculous. Like, why do you do that, TK? Why do you do that, AEW? You know, just just and once in a while they'll mention the what do you call that? The rankings, and then they show it on their damn that blurb down there that shows their record and shows their this and that and how many days they as a champion they've held the title and all this nonsense, all this crap, and then they'll put number two, rank number two, rank number three, rank number five. It's like, is the ranking system even worth it anymore? Are they taking it seriously? They mention it, but it's like, do they have somebody go out there and go, okay, here's the rankings for this week, boom, 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 and at something pay-per-view, whatever it is, just the number one contender is the man that will face them, or these top five right here will face each other. But then again, it's like the ranking. Number one should get the shot, right? Instead of, I always cite this. Hikaru Shida, 11 weeks she held that, she was number one. And everybody else was getting title shots. And finally, after all that time, she finally gets the title shot. What was that? What was wrong with her? She was injured. They couldn't pull the trigger on her yet. But that's how bad the ranking was then when they first introduced it, right? And then they bring it back because I guess Punk was the one that didn't believe in that. I can understand why, but then he brought it back when he left or he was fired. And then sometimes I'm like, do they still recognize it? And then, like I said, on the blurb there, you see rank number two, and I'm like, going, okay, but is that really, I don't know. When you have these people in the IWC, these people that are content creators, and they're like all excited about it, or saying, "Oh, this is going to do some great things." And I'm just like going, "What the fuck are you guys drinking? Give me some. What are you smoking? I'll have a puff." It's like, you do know that it's going to be thrown out, like milk after it's expired, man. Just dump it out. They're not gonna care about it, and if they do, it's gonna be half-ass. It's not ever brought up. It's not mentioned once in a while, and then, like I said, on the blurb, that's where you see it. And that's where you go, oh, okay, they're still following the damn thing. Maybe Excalibur go, oh, rank number two, number one contender, the number, and I'm like, okay, masked man. But let's go to the segment, the one I think that everybody's talking about. Of course, why not? You got Jack Perry, and it's like, he tells everybody how he feels, and he's in New Japan and starting this thing over there, and then he calls TK out, and he wants him to shake his hand and reinstate him. And of course, TK is like this, okay, like a little child with his fuzzy curly hair, and like the fuck is he dressing in and stuff, and he doesn't even look like a damn guy who owns a company. It's just like, maybe you need to dress up and kind of look presentable when you go on TV, because you really, really do look like you're not even, dang, man. Yeah, he's a billionaire. I'm nowhere near that. Not even 100 but it's like, I seen like people like Triple H comes out, he looks sharp. He ain't the owner of the company, but he runs things when it comes to creative and shit. Even when Regal came out, right? And he was just the leader of the damn thing, but you might as well make him a guy that back on stage that's in charge of shit. Even the man whose name should not be mentioned from WWE, that guy who did the shit that he did, and VKM, I won't say his name. You look sharp when you went out there. This is like, and then this segment, I swear, what were they trying to pull with this thing? Are they trying to do a thing where, oh my god, everybody's eyes are going to be on AEW now because look what they did to the boss? they go to, they stop, Jack Perry, because Jack Perry attacks TK, punches him in the gut, and then they pick him up. Hey, don't do that. They pick him up, and everybody's going, oh shit, because the way they had, each of his hands, like Matthew had his hand here, and then Nicholas had his hand right there. They're taking Elite, the EVP trigger, and then Matt Jackson puts him in a pile driver position, and then off the rope with a sloppy ass 450 kind of spin in the ring, and doesn't even touch him. I think he just touches. I think TK's maybe his what I call it, his coat tail or his or something. Didn't even do it. Might as well just did the pile driver. And then he sells it. He's laid out. And then it comes, and this is one thing that really, really fucking made me go, what the fuck? What took you so long? All the guys come out. Dante Martin comes out. All these wrestlers come out. And they're like, no, look this, like, what's going on? Oh, what happened to our, prestige, illustrious boss? What happened to him? Oh my God, what the? And then his dad comes out at the end too. And he looked like he knew how to act. He's looking like wondering what the hell's going on. But he looked like, what the hell's going on. Those other guys did it. And it's just like, so what were you guys doing? Were you watching, or you were just back there, chewing your damn, chewing on your fingernails, or, or trying to, get one of the female wrestlers' numbers? What were you doing back there? Messing around? You didn't see? They were out there a good 5 minutes. You didn't see? So you mean to tell me that no one was in Gorilla watching? No one was watching on the screens. They had those screens in the back, and people were watching it like this, like we saw, Mercedes last week, and nobody reacted, stuff like that. But then they come out. Oh my God, that's a problem with AEW. There are bunch of indie wrestlers when they started that didn't know nothing about camera angles, didn't know anything about how to react, how to, make it your moves and your move set and all that stuff look good on camera, what camera to look at and stuff. And like Britt Baker got better because she was awful in the beginning. She even said it, and I'm not saying this to be insulting to her. She said it herself, and she said she got better. But these guys are just acting like, oh my God. It's just like when these guys someone's doing a move off the top rope, and then these guys are just waiting for the person, and the camera's on them instead of on the person doing the move. That's another way of these guys, how really amateurish they were in the beginning, and they still do it. They kind of did it, getting better a little bit, where you don't focus on the people that's going to get hit with the move. Look at the person that's doing it, because if you do that, you're seeing a baby facing a heel with their arm around each other, waiting for the person to come down. I get it. You're supposed to catch the guy, or you're supposed to help the guy finish the move, and you're supposed to cushion him. But it looks ridiculous when you're looking up and you're just waiting for him, which seems like for 30 minutes, you're just sitting there, standing there. It's silly enough, but we've gotten used to it, where someone comes out the top rope, one person hits about 20 people, and he hits only about 3 of them in the middle, and then everybody else falls. Like, it isn't a damn earthquake tremor. That person comes down and everybody goes, oh shoot, and they fall over. But we've gotten used to that. We've gotten used to that, and we're like, it's silly, but it works, I guess. But I don't know about Dynamite. It's not Dynamite. Someone lit the fuse, and I think it just went. It's more like firecrackers. Not even that. Maybe sparklers. Maybe the sparklers thing, or maybe those little cap things that we used to, over. Remember those little paper things in paper, and you throw it, and it's like that. Not even, there's nothing there. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to tell you. I didn't enjoy it. There's some things there, but it's like you're just waiting for these guys to finally turn that corner. But then, it's like they keep hesitating to turn that corner. It's like they're there. Oh, they're like scared to take that next thing and to improve on their thing. Go around the corner, TK. That's where you're gonna get improvement. But you just keep, and you're just set in your ways and how you want to book shit. And it's the same shit every time. I could be wrong in people's eyes, in people's minds. I can give a fuck. I don't care what you think. When I say that, I mean, you're not going to tell me to think your way. And it's just like, if these people don't want to change, then why am I going to hang around? Because I already can see it, that I'm gonna drop the AEW and start just watching WWE exclusively. I'm giving it a chance, but I'm just seeing where the Mercedes Moné journey is going to take us. Where is she going to end up? She becomes a champion, good. Who's going to be her next challenger? Is it going to be Britt Baker? Is it going to be Sky Blue? Is it going to be, I'm sure she has issues, Monet does, with Julia Hart. But that doesn't even excite me. And I love these women, the ones that I mentioned. I love the women's division. They got a great division. But do something about it. Don't just present it and don't just show it like, oh, we have a women's division. Let me put, this wrestler against this wrestler again. And then we'll get the other one that we just saw a few months ago challenge for the title. Instead of trying to bring up some new talent, show them out there. Sky Blue was like that. She was really, really green. She's gotten better. But they kept showing her every week, almost every other week. And it's just like we started getting used to her, and she got better and better. Look where she's at. She's definitely someone who's going to be a champion one day. But they're just trying to refine everything on her. They're trying to just, the finishing touches on her, and they're trying to get all that stuff, and it's coming together. Her partnership with Julia Hart is money. It's working. But we haven't seen her for a while. So where is she at? Where is she at? But anyway, that's my video. So for those of you who stopped by and checked it out, I appreciate it. Thank you. And as always, as usual, please click like if you like the video. Please share it. Comment if you want. And also press or kick the notification button. You know what that does. And that's that. So for those of you who stop by, like I said, and watch this video, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And until next time, take care, and I will see you in my next video.